Santana, and this is Boxing Playhouse's special edition because we've got the Mayweather Promotions Prospect of the Year for me. I don't know about you, Jalil Hackett with us today.
Major Hackett.
Major moves, major skills, major power. Yeah. So, I mean, he's that all around type of boxer. But what I wanted to know from you is that if you could see Jalil in a step up fight, like, who would you want to see him against? Like, who would be somebody that you think in the welterweight division you'd like to see him against?
Well, that step up fight right there is, maybe a year or two down the line. Right now he's got to, take one guy at a time. Slowly build Jalil. Don't rush him. He's young.
Yes.
Plenty of time to grow. So take some guys. On the way up. Get some wins. A year or two down the line. Move him. Gradually at a good pace, and we'll see how Jalil matures and progress in this welterweight division. You don't want to rush him. He's a young man, 18. Got time to grow. So I can't really say a big name until you see what Jalil at in a year and a half or so. So until then, I like to see him. All these up and coming step up fights and learn and grow, and we'll see, where the young man be in another year and a half.
You're right. I mean, you're totally right. I am kind of excited and trying to rush him a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, it was all hypothetical. I mean, you didn't have to go so serious with me.
Hypothetical. I like to see him in there with the big guns. If I'm gonna be hypothetical, the Terrence Crawfords, the Earl Spence, all those guys, John Porter. Then you got the young guns coming up right now, Virgil Ortiz, in his boots, there's some guys, you got Conor Ben over in England, the UK. So hopefully in another year or two, if Jalil, keep moving and winning, looking spectacular, he can be in that mix. So I know we heard a lot of great things about him, he's looking good so far. So we're gonna watch this ride, enjoy the ride, and see, how his career flourish.
I mean, I understand you. I get you. I wanna be there with you. I mean, it just can't come fast enough for me. That's all it is. But I mean, in the meantime, we're gonna have a couple of hot topics. Just because we got Mayweather Promotions in the house with us, TMT baby. Well, guess what? Gervonta Tank Davis, he announced his own fight this time for December 5th, and that is a Sunday. What do you think about that? I mean, do you think you like Sunday fights?
I really don't like a Sunday fight, to be honest. I like, I like the Saturday fights, because everybody likes to party and have fight parties and get lit. Who wants to go to work hungover and this and that? I like a good Saturday fight with, Sunday you can spend time, back and forth on social media with people about the fight, what happened, and I don't really like the Sunday thing, to be honest. Me personally, I used to like Sunday back in the day when it was Sports Sunday on ABC World of Sports or NBC Sports Sunday back in the day when they played it, during the daytime. But the big fights on a Sunday night, I ain't really. Even the Super Bowl, I wish they would move to a Saturday where people could really party and have a good time and ain't got to worry about being to work on a Monday.
Yeah, I mean, that's true and everything, but I will make an exception for Gervonta Tank Davis because I know I'm going to get to see a knockout. And what does Sakura love?
Great knockout.
There you go. So I'm all for this. His opponent, his rolliness, Romero, he has basically, gone ahead and stepped up to the plate. I mean, when he called out Davis in his last Showtime show, I was laughing. I mean, I'm gonna just be honest. I'm honest, and I just didn't believe that was gonna be you know, what they were gonna let happen. But I mean, apparently they're gonna let Rolly step in that ring with Tank. I mean, do you think he's ready for that level, or do you think this is a little premature?
I think Rolly done talked himself into an ass with
Oh no.
Rolly, you know, he talks a good game. He talks a good fight, but he's not on. To me, he's not on no Tank level. You know,
Well, why would they allow this fight to happen then? I
well,
mean, talk to me. What do you think this is? I'm so
well,
confused right now because they both are two Mayweather promotion boxers. So what's going on that they're allowing, you know, two of their best to fight each other?
I think Rolly done. You know how these organizations are. I think Rolly done got himself positioned. Maybe he's a mandatory for Tank some kind of way. You know, all these belts and way things go, man. It's just it's political, and I really don't know. How he really got there. He could be, in contention for Tank. He talked a lot of smack. Maybe it's personal. Maybe Tank just want to shut him up.
Mm.
Just get a good fight in going. Before the year is over. Maybe it's something Tank wants personally. He called it out like he said.
Well,
So
apparently they saying that they really don't like each other. I mean, where do you think this is stemming from? Could it be jealousy on one of their parts, or could it be, just I think I'm better than you, like on a real, basic world class level boxing? Or do you think it's because Rolly want that good payday? Like, tell me something. I got to know. What you thinking?
I believe it's a little bit of all the above. He's probably jealous of Tank because the spotlight's been on Tank.
Mm.
Tank's a pay-per-view star. Like Mayweather Promotions. Maybe he feel that they giving Tank more attention than him. So it could be that he's maybe a little jealous or whatever. And then in the gym or whatever. It's a lot of back and forth talk in that Mayweather gym. So I think it's all of the above. He wants to make a good payday, and it's probably personal. So I'm sure it's a little jealousy in there. So hey, you got the opportunity, to make the best of it. If you feel like you that man, and everybody should be talking about you, and you the pay-per-view star, then knock that guy off, and that's Tank. But I
All
don't
right.
think he's ready.
Well, Rolliness has absolutely been, I mean, encouraging this by saying on IG, they call me Rolly, the dwarf slayer. Rolly
Okay.
putting his hands to sleep, putting his kid to sleep on December 5th. Bet the house on Rolly, and you can be a millionaire too. That's from 50 song. Yeah, have a baby by me, you be a millionaire. I kind of like that last little part, but at the same time, I'm really like confused about this. Like, I mean, do you really want to like have Tank pissed off in a on a different level? I mean, if he already don't really like you and you don't like him, isn't that enough motivation? Now you're like everybody's saying this lead up is going to be amazing because they're just excited for the shit talking that's about to happen and not necessarily for the fight. Me
Right.
personally, I like fights, but I do like a good lead in to a fight. So, I mean, does this have the makings for one of those type of fights?
Yeah, it's going to be entertaining. The build up. And the first 2 rounds, I believe, going to be entertaining. They might come out swinging, but I see Tank catching Rolly and ending it. But I believe it's going to be entertaining, and it might, like I said, the first few rounds, with all that hype and testosterone build up with these two young guys, I believe they're going to go head up, and it might be a quick night. So it might be explosive for 1 or 2 rounds.
Yes, I mean it's definitely one for us to look out to, and it's something for us to look forward to in
Yeah,
December as far as boxing is concerned. And like I said, I don't mind if it's Tank doing Sunday. I can deal with it. I mean, because I am favoring Tank in this particular scenario, but I do have to give Rolly his due respect in a way because we're complaining about people not stepping up and fighting. Some of these boogeymen of their
right.
respective divisions. So now we have somebody that's stepping up and daring to be great
Right.
um, against Tank. So kudos to the Mayweather Promotions team for allowing this fight because I know, like, Usually you're trying to save, like another fighter, for another totally different audience and different marketing, and you kind of like, want the best to fight and stay on top. And they're allowing these two guys to box. So the matchup, they need to be given kudos for that. As far as I'm concerned, I feel like that's a good move.
Yeah, it's gonna be a month or two ago. They were speculating that Keith Thurman was gonna fight. That was the talk of a couple months. I guess that fizzled out. And so Tank, he found him another opponent. To end the year. So we'll see how it go. I don't see this fight being no boxing match. I see both these guys coming out and letting their hands go. Unfortunately, Rolly, I don't feel like he's on Tank level,
Mm-hmm.
and Tank going, score a spectacular knockout.
Okay, so let's move on to the next subject, which I had. Oh my God. Oh, Bob Arum. What in the hell is going on with Bob Arum these days? He's going off on reporters when they ask him a legitimate question. Shout out to Mike Coppinger. I mean, he's going off on oh, I forgot her name. That's that quick. I mean,
Girl from England.
yeah, she's from England, but she's, Miss Kate. They're
Right.
going off on Kate. I don't understand what's going on. Like, I mean, and then he's saying, I didn't like how his phrasing was on that, which is that they brought in that woman, and we can have a discussion as to whether she did a great job or not. Like, we could do that. That's totally separate from you like honing in and going deep with the whole women phrase, as well as it's totally different from you saying F her. Like, I mean, like, what the hell? And I don't even want to hear this excuse like, oh, he's old. Oh, he's from a different era. Oh, he's this. No, he's old enough to know better. And he's a professional man, so he knows what he was saying was inappropriate at best. Uh, I think it's despicable. I don't care what kind of job you think someone did. I mean, and you called this lady in like less than 24 hours from, the conference being made. So, like, if she have a slip or two, well, that's what it is. Because you called her last minute. She didn't call you. That's just how I feel about it. But of course, I'm gonna, I could be a little sensitive to it because I am a woman that's trying to get into the boxing arena on a larger level, and just to know that there's other people in the closet hiding that's feeling and saying some of the same stuff that Bob was kind of saying today and meaning it. If you can be older and we all do have an uncle that get to say whatever the hell they think because they old enough that they feel like, well, I can just say whatever I want. I don't have no repercussions because I've paid my dues and I'm going to say what the heck I feel. But that's just a key point, the way you feel. So if he's really feeling this way about women being in boxing, that's a whole nother situation. But I think he went in way too hard and he owed that lady an apology. Miss Kate, I'm sorry that he even spoke to you out of pocket like that. I'm going to stand up for you and let you know that there are some of us that's willing to speak out on the issue. Be damned if they want to block me or not. I don't care. Go ahead. Your thoughts on this?
Oh man, Bob Arum. Man, I'm all for the ladies, man. I mean, you shouldn't be so sensitive. I mean, if a lady, whatever, don't make, shouldn't attack the women like that, man. The lady is, she's doing her thing, man, and just unnecessary energy, far as what I see. Unnecessary. Let's focus on this fight, man. And get this fight going and hype. Picking on women, man. These women is getting stronger in the boxing scene. You're seeing more women, more women fights. Women are progressing, man. Let's help them progress. Let's don't throw jabs and talk and belittle anybody, man. It's just, to me, that's just unnecessary energy, man. Let's focus on the big fight this weekend.
Okay.
That's what the attention and energy needs to be on this fight.
All right. So her name is Mrs. Kate Abdo. I couldn't remember her last name, so I apologize for that. But she does know her damn boxing. She's British. All them, everybody from Britain know they boxing well, and she's shown it over and over again on different platforms now at this point. Like, don't belittle her like that. I don't like it. I
Right.
don't. And shout out to Sean Porter for sticking up for her. He had put out his tweet on the situation and thought that it was disrespectful. And that puts him in a precarious situation. That's when I saw his post. I'm like, you know what? I can speak out too. Because, at first you'd be a little timid about some of these subjects because you don't want to step on nobody's toes in the industry. But at the same time, if Sean Porter, who has a fight coming up with Bob Arum's number one welterweight, Bud Crawford, if he can stand up and say something and let people know that it was disrespectful, I can too. I don't have a fight on the line. Well, let's go ahead and introduce our guests for tonight. We can ask them what they think about all these shenanigans going on in the sport of boxing. This is our prospect, Mayweather Promotions signee. Okay, number one pro debut fight in the bank with a first round KO.
Quick.
Yes,
So
super
just,
quick.
Just sat down. I almost spilled my drink. It was so quick.
That is true. Let's welcome Jalil Major Hackett to the show along with Team Hackett. And that's with DC as well as coach and father extraordinaire, Bernard Hackett. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
You doing good?
Oh no, it looks like they're driving.
Hello?
Hello?
You can hear me?
Hey Jalil.
Yeah,
Yes.
we hear you now.
So how
How you doing?
okay, good.
Yeah.
Man, we're chilling, Jalil. What kind of shirt you got on? I'm looking at your shirt.
This is Art and Co brand, it's a local
Can
brand.
you
They
hear us?
they
What kind of
actually
shirt you
do
got?
all of my fight trunks. So, if y'all want to support, definitely support on Instagram at it's Art and Co.
Oh, I
Okay.
like that. I like the colors and everything,
Yeah,
man.
I
That's
like
God.
that.
Yeah, that's dope. I like that.
So,
So we were just talking about some of the things that's came up in the last couple of days, like Javante Tank Davis versus Rowley, and how Mayweather Promotions handled allowing those two in-house boxers fight each other. Um, you know, what do you think about that fight?
It's I heard it on a Sunday, December 5th. I think it's gonna be a good fight. Yeah, it's two good fighters going in there. They getting ready for war. My personal opinion on it, I think Tank is gonna win, but it should be a good fight.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, do you think you would be up for fighting one of your staple mates in the future? If that's what Ellaby and Mayweather said to do, like if they thought that was a good move for you, do you think you would have any issues fighting someone in
My
your same staple, like a staple mate?
my whole thing is whoever they tell me to fight, I'll be prepared to fight. Other than that, I just stay in the gym,
Hmm.
staying sharp. I don't pick the fight. They say, oh, you fighting this guy on this date, and then I go and get ready.
Right. Yeah, that's what's up. I mean, that's how I go. Um, So, there was. I'm gonna wait until DC get on here so we can talk about other things. But I do want to go ahead and let everybody know that they can see you in DC at the end of this month October 29th, you'll be fighting in your hometown. I mean, how you feel?
Man, I feel great. I've been wanting to fight at home for a while now, and it's a dream come true to fight at home. And I want to put on a show for my family and all my friends.
Right. Yeah, I totally get that. I mean, it's amazing when you finally get to fight at home, and for you, it's just the second fight. So, I mean, that's got to be kind of like amazing to me. I find it like really um, a cool thing that you're able to fight at home already.
Yeah, no, it's real big, and yeah, man. Once again, I'm super excited for the fight, and anybody who's watching who's gonna be in the area around Halloween, well, actually October 29th, 2 days before Halloween. Anyone gonna be in the area, make sure you
Right.
come out and watch the fight because I'm gonna definitely give them a great performance.
Jalil, I want to know how you feel, man. The whole world is starting to know who Jalil Major Hackett is. You fought on a pay-per-view, your first fight. How's it feeling, man? I know everybody is calling your name, the city, man. The girls are coming at you. How's it feeling right now?
It feels great. I just know is always room for improvement, and I can't stop working because the second I stop working, then I can fall off and they're like somebody else. So I just know I got to keep
Right?
working, keep grinding, and staying in shape, and ready to fight.
Definitely.
So, Jalil, who are you training with right now that's in the DC area? I mean, I think I seen you last week and or like last month, I seen you working out with J Rock Williams.
Oh yes, I was actually in camp with J Rock for a few weeks, helping him get ready for his fight that's this weekend. Best of luck to him. He's making a comeback fight on the Wilder and Fury undercard. So yeah, that was great work,
Yeah.
great learning experience. I learned a lot from J Rock. Um, yeah, but other than that, it just been me and my dad in the gym, working with people that we got in the gym. Getting ready for my fight that's October 29th.
Jalil, who you got, man, this weekend? Wilder or Fury?
I like Tyson Fury for this weekend. Honestly, because he just has superior boxing ability, and he's much bigger. You can't teach size, and I feel like he's going to use his size in the ring Saturday night. Walk in here real quick, 'cause it's not good
You
interview.
think Malik Scott is gonna help Deontay Wilder bring him in?
Oh, you can hear me now? Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. And I was asking you, how do you
All
feel
right, there we
about
go.
Deontay Wilder bringing Malik Scott in after?
I feel like it's a on paper it looks like a good move. Malik Scott, even though he lost to Fury, he's been in the ring with him before. So it was a good idea for him to bring him in. But I don't think it will be enough for him to get over the hump of beating Tyson Fury.
Hmm.
Welcome back, DC. We see you made it back on.
DC is back,
Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing?
man. We chilling, DC. How you feel, brother?
Man, I can't complain, man. Blessed, and blessed to be on Boxing PlayHouse. They know y'all
Hey, we
family.
glad you're here. Hey.
Awesome. Well, what's up, Nard? We
Hey,
see you back
Bernard.
there. We
We
finally
see
can
you.
see you now.
What's up, Bernard? I see you. Oh, Jalil took the camera off.
Bernard and Cut.
Bernard. Oh, there you go. What's
What
up, Bernard?
up? What's up, dog? Well, we had a great time with you guys in Miami, being
How's
able to
everybody
hang out
doing?
with you guys for a little bit at the hotel, in the
Hey,
hotel lobby.
we're chilling, Bernard. We're chilling, man. How you doing, bro?
Man, enjoying myself, man. Just ready to get to another fight.
I heard that.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so DC, what I was talking to about, well, talking to Jalil about was the upcoming fight in October where he gets to fight it with the home crowd. I mean, how did you pull this off? Tell us a little details. I need some insider scoop.
What's the inside? See.
Well, we were initially scheduled to fight October the 8th, actually tomorrow, in Vegas. And they had a COVID outbreak at the casino uh, venue that we were supposed to have the fight at. So it got postponed. So the promoter for the October 29th fight, Thomas Cornbread Lamont, reached out and was interested in having Jalil on the fight card. So, of course, I talked it over with everybody at Mayweather Promotions, talked it over with Jalil and Bernard, and we said, hey, good opportunity for him to fight at home. Um, so we made it happen. We made it happen. So, yeah. It wasn't a lot to it. Good opportunity for Jalil to come back home and fight in front of family, friends, teachers, schoolmates, the whole nine. So, and it's going to be an excellent fight card, excellent talent on it, and he going to show out, in front of the hometown.
Oh, so we're gonna get to see another KO then, right?
Oh, most definitely,
What was
most
it? The first
definitely.
round? How
The
many
streak
seconds did that
continues.
take?
You
Yeah,
got to
I
ask
hope
him
so for sure.
that.
DC, I better not get up and go get no drink, huh? I better sit my ass down until he get in the ring and do.
Yeah.
And
Bring
the
your
first
bring your
round is over
popcorn,
with.
your drinks, and all that, and have it ready. You know, no matter who in there with him. You know,
Yeah.
Jalil don't believe in no
yeah.
overtime.
Nah,
No, I bet
nah.
he
We,
won't.
hey, yeah, they're gonna see a new link. Yeah, he don't
So
believe
I think
you don't get paid by the round.
Right?
You don't get paid by the round. So, but nah, he focused. Jalil is a gym rat. Um, he stays in the gym. I mean, we got to pull him out the gym to get him rest that he needs. You know, he's a student of the game. He studies the game. He's willing to listen. He's willing to learn. Um, and he ain't afraid of nobody. He's not afraid of
Wow.
nobody.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I get
he's
that from
ready.
him. I mean, there's just so much good training up there in the DC area, and there's so many ways that you can spar with, different styles, and everybody feeds off each other. Yeah, so it makes for a more well-rounded boxer, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And again, with Jaleel, he's a humble kid.
I was saying it makes
Um,
for a
he's
good.
done everything we've asked. Huh? I
I was
didn't hear
just
you.
saying, like, the type of talent that's in the area. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, one thing about DC, anybody that knows about boxing, uh, DC has breeded some talented boxers. I mean, you go back to Sugar Ray Leonard. Um, Charles Mooney, Sean Bate Mitchell, Mark Tushaw Johnson, Keith Holmes, William Joppy, Daryl Coley, Lamont Peterson, Anthony Peterson, Ty Barnett. We've had some great fighters. Riddick Bowe, even though Riddick wasn't born here, but Riddick lived here for a while. And it's a list of others. So one thing DC has, they got fighters.
Right.
And so
Yeah, they got
Jalil is just and Jalil, he respects the ones that came before him. He looks up to them and just wants to capitalize on the opportunity he has and make the city proud of him, and make the former world champions and boxers in this neighborhood, in the city proud of him.
DC, Winky Wright was born in DC too.
Oh yeah, Winky too. I'm sorry, Winky too. My man Winky, Hall of Famer. Yeah, Winky too. Winky moved to Florida, I believe, when he was much younger, but he's still from here.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, Winky definitely. Yeah. So, but yeah, we had at one time. I always tell people this that aren't the student of the game, but at one time we had 4 world champions in DC at the same time: Sean Bate Mitchell, Mark Tushaw Johnson, Keith Holmes, and William Joppy, and they were world champions for a long period together. That's never happened before in the history of professional boxing.
That's pretty amazing. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so, and like I said, Jalil's doing all the right things. Go ahead, Shakur.
What we were going to do, DC, is get you to address some of the topics we had Jalil to discuss earlier.
Okay.
Boy, it's a real rough night as far as Wi-Fi is concerned, I'm seeing. Sorry, DC.
Yeah, y'all freezing a little bit. It's a little delay on y'all end a little bit.
Yes, and
but we gonna get through it.
Okay. Well,
we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it.
What I was gonna say is, I sent Jalil a link, so until he gets back, what I was gonna do is have you discuss. I was gonna have you discuss with us the hot topic we had on how Mayweather Promotions is allowing Rolly versus Tank Davis. I find this kind of it's like an intriguing fight, but it's also kind of like rare that a promoter allows 2 in-house boxers on those levels to fight each other. I think it's great. Right. I love that they made that move.
Well,
but what is this about? Like, tell me, what is this about? You
gotta tell me. Well, first and foremost, for people to know, the fight he's a mandatory. The WBA ordered it. So when the WBA orders it, you got to make it happen. Rolly been calling out Tank for a long time, and I get credit where credit due. Rolly markets himself. And he's great at it. And hey, if you can't market yourself, who can market you better? He cracks me up, but Rolly, he talked himself into a big fight. And you can't be mad at him for that. Everybody, Tank fighting Rolly, he should be fighting this person, that person. Look, all of them need to just get in line and wait their turn.
what you're
So
saying.
yeah,
And
I mean
yes, Brody
it's going to
is
be
a
a
good
great fight.
marketer. I mean, he's that guy that
The
people
fight
love
is
to hate.
December the
But
5th.
there are a lot of people
Yes,
that don't like
Sunday.
Tank as well.
It's going to be in LA at
He ain't even at all because I'm moving my head and I ain't seeing him.
DC, you there?
We done lost ourselves too. We ain't moving. Okay, guys, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with you while we work out these kinks with this technology. And we'll see you in a few minutes after the break.
Yeah. This is how we do it right here. Check it. Yeah. There's gonna be plenty of things you're gonna see. I know. Trust me when I tell you, it's coming. It's coming. Welcome to the house, the one they talking about. Word of mouth, the boxing playhouse, without a doubt. All the latest and greatest boxing news, that's what it's all about. Listen, welcome to the house, the one they talking about. Word of mouth, the boxing playhouse, without a doubt. Yeah. This is how we do it right here. Check it. Yeah. There's gonna be plenty of things you're gonna see. I know. Trust me when I tell you, it's coming. It's coming. Welcome to the house, the one they talking about. Word of mouth, the boxing playhouse, without a doubt. All the latest and greatest boxing news, that's what it's all about. Listen, welcome to the house, the one they talking about. Word of mouth, the boxing playhouse, without a doubt. Yeah. This is how we do it right here. Check it. Yeah. There's gonna be plenty of things you're gonna see. I know. Trust me when I tell you, it's coming. It's coming. Welcome to the house, the one they talking about. Word of mouth, the boxing playhouse, without a doubt. All the latest and greatest boxing news, that's what it's all about. Listen, welcome to the house, the one they talking about. Word of mouth, the boxing playhouse, without a doubt.
All right, guys, we're back with you live and in effect. And this is Boxing Playhouse, Sakura A and Emelio Santana. We had some technical issues a minute ago, but we're about to bring DC back. That's Derek Curry, manager extraordinaire for Jalil, Hackett, and Breedy. DC, are you there? Are you with me? You know how to say that? Are you with me? Oh, okay. Not yet. Okay. So basically, we were talking about this whole fiasco with Bob Arum earlier. We were also talking about the Tank Davis versus Rolly Romero fight. We also were touching on Wilder Fury and predictions. So, guys, feel free. Any of you guys wanted to comment or ask us a question from earlier, feel free to do that. I see.
I'm excited about this card. This card is stacked. A lot of good fights on this card right here.
All right, so there definitely are a stacked load of cards coming through. Let's see. Okay, so I did have a list of this. Let's see.
I'm excited about that heavyweight fight.
All right, so we got Berlanga on this card as well.
Monster.
We have J-Rock on this card. J-Rock Williams
J-Rock.
back in action.
Wow.
We had Rofini.
See?
No, not Rofini. What's his name? Robisi Ramirez, the Olympian. We have him on the card. We have
Cuban kid, right?
Yes, Cuban. We have Efe versus Sanchez on this card.
F.A. Chaba and Frank Sanchez. That's going to be explosive, that one right there. Both those guys are heavy hitters. Somebody going to sleep. I don't see that fight going past 5 rounds.
We have Hellenius versus Kalinowski.
The Nordic Nightmare. That's a rematch right there, ain't it?
Yes, it is a
I
rematch.
didn't even know that fight was on this card. Wow.
Yes, so it is
Man.
stacked. Lots of heavyweight
That's a good
talent.
card
Oh, and
right
we
there.
got baby Jared.
Oh, Anderson, the
Anderson,
real big baby.
the real big baby. Yes.
Man, there's some good fights on it. Finally, we get a good card, with some good undercards. There's a lot of names right there. So I'm glad they put together a nice card here. I've been upset with a few cards lately where it was just one or two good fights, and people paying a lot of money for these pay-per-views, man. Get the people their money's worth. And this card right here is stacked.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the one I'm most excited about seeing actually is the Sanchez versus Ajaba fight. I think that that's a good matchup that would lead into who is a better boxer. And, if they got that as the co-main, sometimes, like we were discussing on Heavy Bag Boxing CS on Tuesday, we were saying that sometimes it's a lead-in to what could be another fight matchup,
Right.
for whoever winners are and losers are of the main event. So that's a very intriguing fight to me. And, I can't wait to see it.
I didn't get who Berlinger fighting. Is this a step up from his last fight where the guy took him the distance? I got to find out who's Berlinger's opponent. I didn't catch that one.
I didn't really catch that either. I mean, I've been kind of like just excited about seeing Berlanga and seeing if, some of the things that he needed to clean up on or hone in on from his last fight, he actually took the time to really, make sure that he trained for that. I got to check in with our guy Finesse too. And see if he's been called in for, sparring. Yeah, for sparring again.
Yes.
Yeah, so shout out to Ricardo Finesse Graham.
Did some good work.
Absolutely. Now, getting to the Wilder Fury fight itself. Now, the odds are in the favor of Fury currently, but not that much. Not as much as people would think. So, what do you think about that development? Do you think there are just as many Fury fans or Wilder fans that think and believe he's gonna win?
I think a lot of people been watching, the build up, the videos that Wilder's been doing, his training with Malik Scott. Malik has twerked a few things, like he's, got Wilder looking good. So I think a lot of people are tending to believe that we're going to see a new and improved Wilder. And, it'll only take one shot from Wilder to end the night. So Fury's going to have to really, fight a good fight. I still give Fury the slight edge in this fight here. I still think he got the overall technical better skills than Wilder, but he damn sure can't get caught. Because if he get caught by Wilder, man, Malik Scott, he's trying to send him into another dimension. Malik Scott said he ain't hitting you, he trying to hit through you. So he got to be careful. You don't want to get hit too many times by Deontay Wilder, and and it ain't gonna be no excuses. So Wilder coming in there, he on a mission, and he wants to get that green belt back.
Yeah.
Get on top where he was. So he's gonna be fighting a very determined Deontay Wilder, man. This is gonna be exciting to see. So I can't wait.
Shout out to Dominican Republic tonight. We see you in our feed.
Dominican.
We appreciate your support, Ramirez. We appreciate that. I mean, for me, I'm just like, it just kind of floors me that, all this naysaying and talking about, Wilder's gonna get beat again and this and that. And now just to see how the closer the fight gets, the more like, close these, odds are getting. To where a lot of people, they wait until they go to the weigh-in date to make a decision. Some, they listen to this fight week, different things, and they kind of like change their mind last minute.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of times it'd be body language, and
right
things, how a person look or how confident they are in these press conferences. The body. Sometimes people can get up on that stage and you look at Fury and then you look at Wilder, the shape, and then sometimes that fools people by going by who looks more fit, but that don't mean nothing. So there's a lot of things that get in people's head at the last minute, and they want to place some big bets in Vegas, So there's gonna be a lot of that going on.
Oh, I don't blame them now. I don't blame them for trying to get their coins now. It's just a matter of like when the fight was first said, oh, we don't even need this fight. Fury won those 2 fights. What do we need a trilogy for? Because they wanted that AJ fight so bad. What's up, guys?
Back.
Hey.
How you doing? My dad had to step out,
We
but
back.
I'm still on.
Look, y'all. We back.
All right.
We good. We good now.
So I'm gonna jump right into it. We were just talking about this Fury
good?
Wilder fight, since it is fight week. Yeah, we good.
Yeah, we
I
good.
need your predictions though.
Who you got, DC? Who you got?
I'm gonna tell you before
that
I saw the press conference. Before I saw the press conference yesterday, I was really locked in with Fury again because I just feel like Deontay has that one punch power, but Fury has the package. And I just think his boxing skills will always get him over the hump past a fighter like Deontay Wilder. But listening and looking at Deontay, I mean, he's focused. He got a chip on his shoulder. And hell, he got that right hand.
that's that main thing right there. That name.
Equalizer.
Yeah, the
Man,
equalizer. That's that name.
I wouldn't bet on it, but I put it this way. Deontay can't go 12 rounds with him and win. That's just, he can't. He going to have to knock him out. But I'll tell you this. If Deontay catch him with that right hand in this fight, Wilder won't be getting up like The Undertaker. Fury won't be getting up like The Undertaker. If he catch him with the right hand in this fight here,
like The Undertaker, he rolls up.
yeah. This fight here,
nah,
he not getting up. Damn.
DC, how do you feel about
But
this card?
I think it's going to be a great fight. Huh?
I said, how you feel about the whole card? It's stacked. This whole card.
Oh, it's a
stacked.
great fight card. Great fight card. I mean, PBC did a great job putting this card together. Shout out to Al Heyman, Sam Wilson, and the whole crew. Tom Brown, they did a great job. Our guy, J-Rock, Julian Williams is fighting on the fight card. Man, one of the most humblest fighters in boxing today. Jalil had a chance to go up Philly for the past 2 months almost, and sparred with J Rock. And man, J Rock is one of my favorite fighters. Always been humble. You know, him and Badu Jack, man. Both of them are the two most humble and most professional fighters out there. The way they carry themselves, family man, the whole gamut. And he taught Jalil a lot. You know, he took the time to teach Jalil things, talk to him. You know how sometimes you go in with sparring people and they in there because they trying to knock you out and all that. But with J Rock, it's different. You know, he goes in there to work on a skill set, work on things that he's going to see in the fight, and he's a teacher. He's a student of the game.
That's very true. Now, recently they have been some beef, and I want to talk to Jalil and his dad Bernard with you about who done called out Jalil. And I don't like to curse people out, but I just feel like some people need to just like stay off leaning hard in on the young people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's the right move to make when you're an older person for you to be targeting someone young. So, do we have Jalil and his dad available?
I'm
Are we ready
available,
for
but my
him?
dad, like I said earlier, he stepped out.
Oh, okay. No problem. Your camera is off, so we can't see you, Jalil.
Turn the lights on, Jalil.
Turn on the lights.
Oh, here we go.
There
You
you
go.
go. Okay.
All right.
There we
So
go. There we
listen,
go.
I was just telling DC that sometimes like we've been hearing about this beat. We saw him on Fight Hype last week, and we saw you. Um, when you just respectfully told this host that you couldn't be on a specific person's show. Now I'm not gonna give that person more notoriety by me mentioning him as well, but I'll just say the person Fred, he, I didn't like the way he came at you. Personally, I feel like you're the younger person. So, if you're an older adult, I don't feel like it's right to target you. I mean, I was gonna ask Bernard specifically, how did he feel about, him coming at you like that? But I guess I can ask you too.
It was more so of a. I feel like I was trapped into the situation. You know, it's kind of like they verbally jumped me, but you know, I just in situations like that, I let my dad and my team and Derek handle stuff like that, which they did, and I go about my day.
Right. Now, I'm going to tell you, like, when we met that gentleman, actually, we met him the same night that we met your manager, DC. And, it just don't seem like the same person. When I watched some of the videos, I just didn't, I'm like, I wasn't recognizing him. Like, I'm like, boy, like that, it's like a total different person. So, I hope he doesn't put a bad taste in your mouth about media, um, as far as that's concerned. But DC,
Yeah,
on the
I
other
honestly
hand, I
feel like
guess, go ahead, Jalil.
hello. Yeah, I honestly feel like you can't always judge a book by its cover. Some people come off as like great people, then you get to know them and you realize they're not so great. Then you have others that don't come off as the greatest person in the world, and they're an absolute angel. So yeah, I never judge a book by its cover.
Wow, I mean, he's just see how he's always got so much more wisdom than the average person his age. You and Zarina McCoy, y'all are really impressive young people, Jalil. I don't know if you guys are friends or not, but she's on that same level type with you as far as ain't with the shenanigans and and really got some wisdom about you for your age. You're totally right on what you're saying too. Now, This is what were you thinking when you first heard that Mr. Fred was coming after one of your fighters, one of your own? Okay, I think DC is frozen now.
Hello?
My goodness. Y'all are taking turns on us tonight,
Yep.
Jalil. We get one of you, we can't
Yeah,
get
I
the
don't
other
know
one.
what's yeah.
I know. Well, the thing of it is that these things do happen in the industry. I just don't like when people, you know, want to use that type of negativity to booster their own, pages and stuff. But that is what people like, that controversy and the negativity. It seems like it always gets a little buzz behind it. So I don't want to spend too much time on it, but to say that I'm sorry that you got caught in the fray of that.
Hello, can
Jalil,
you
you
hear me?
there? Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't hear y'all for a second.
Oh, I was like, I don't like to dwell on the negative stuff because it's like it always get buzz when positive stuff never gets that kind of buzz. But I did want to just say I'm sorry you got entangled in that situation.
Yeah, no,
I ain't want to say
it's
anything.
no harm, no foul. Um, everything is a learning experience, and like I said earlier in the interview, if I focus on fighting and I let my team focus on everything else outside the ring, I'll be just fine.
Okay, I understand that for sure. Now you got to tell us what is going on um, when it comes to your training with your father. Do you think that is everything going well in y'all camp? And is there anything specific that you can talk about that you kind of like are honing in more attention to these days?
Um, everything's been the same for the most part. The one thing that me and my dad have both been focusing on more is me being more of a professional, and that's not only inside the ring but outside the ring with the
Okay.
way I do interviews, um, the way I go into the gym. I train with my shirt tucked in. That's a part of being a professional. He says, man, you're not on the block, you're not hanging out. This is your job. Therefore, you gotta go in there and treat this like your job. So yeah, no, that's been the main focus. The boxing has been a
Hmm.
focus as well because of course, if you can't fight, they're not gonna want to be around you too much longer. But being a professional has been the main focus lately.
Right. I mean, and I know you're very satisfied with your promotional team right now, Mayweather Promotions. So, you know, um, I know they have great things lined up for you for the future. I know, I mean, do you still have that goal to where you want to be a multi division champion?
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay, I know you had to change it up a little bit because you had such a growth spurt last year.
Man,
So
talk
now what
about
would it be? It would
2020.
be 2020. Yeah, all that growth
2020 was
spurt
a
put
hell
you
of a
in your
year.
welterweight division. Instead of starting out where you wanted to start out, I think earlier. So now what would it be? It would be a title in welterweight, super welterweight, and middleweight.
Yes, but
All right.
honestly, if the
Yeah.
opportunity was to present itself at 140, I would do what I had to do to get down there and just win the belt. I wouldn't be worried about defending it. I'll give it up that night after I win. But it would be all about winning the belt. Going up to 47, getting the belt there, then going to 54 and getting the belt there. they give me 3 divisions.
Wow, you just mind blew me for real right there with that. I'll drop down if I had to. Damn, Jalil.
Some good names right there at 140. I mean 135. He's at 140.
He's at 140 because
Oh,
he's at
140.
147 now.
Oh, okay, 140.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but once you get to that 147, it seems like it's like hell on your body to go back to 140. I mean, it seems like so many,
Man,
like so short of pounds, but it's something about that turning point. So you would be. I mean, I had to put you on the pound list if you was a champion at welterweight and you went down and fought at 140 for a title. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
it would definitely be worth it.
Yeah, that would definitely be worth it. I mean, name a boxer that's been able to do it successfully. Go to 147 and then drop back to 140. Successfully is the key word.
Yeah, key.
So
that's the key right there.
Yeah.
Jalil, I like that. I like Gary Russell brother that fight at 140.
Gary Antoine Russell?
Yeah, I like him. He's a little different, but I like him.
Yeah, no,
It's
definitely.
just a little different, huh?
Yeah.
He definitely a heavy and soon to be world champion at 140.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good move. Now, DC, I'm hearing that you have some great news for us about Jalil and some of his fight schedule for the rest of this year. I mean, can you tell us a secret?
Tell us, DC. Let us know.
Well, of course, we got October the 29th at DC Entertainment and Sports Arena where the Washington Mystics play. Jalil will be fighting there. And we plan to bring him back December the 5th on Tank Davis fight card in LA at the Staples Center.
What? Jalil, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, we staying busy.
Yeah, I'm more than...
Yeah.
That's like, career defining for you to be on some of these major cards. Ding ding ding, major, get it?
Yeah.
Some of these major
one of the
already.
things. One of the things I talk to him about and tell him, because as a young fighter and a young athlete, you want to go out there and you just in all sports, you want to go out there and do it. You want to do it, and with boxing, you have to. It's not where you start. It's where you finish. You got some fighters that opt to jump out there and fight in the beginning of their career every month, every couple of weeks or whatever. And hey, that's fine for some people. But when a person has a plan in place for you, it's a little different because your plan might not be what the next person's plan is. We all at Mayweather Promotions, we got a plan in place for Jalil on how we want to move him. And hey,
I love that because
we ain't made no mistakes yet.
Companies, they just throw them in.
Yeah. And people don't realize it they don't realize it till later on in their career. Like, dang, I shouldn't have took that path. Yeah, you might have all these fights, but what do you have to show for it? Financially, what do you have to show for it? Belt-wise, what do you have to show for it?
Right.
So,
absolutely.
Jalil understands, and he's focused on the task. He understands, like, okay, I'm the fighter. My dad is my coach and trainer. Derek is my manager, and together we're going to all be on the same page with the decisions we make, and we're always going to make the right decision. and he's gonna be fine.
Well, so
Trust me,
far
he's
the
gonna be
movie's
fine.
been amazing, and we can't wait to see Jalil in his next up and coming bouts. Now, so we got
Yeah,
the October 28th fight, or is it 29th?
29th.
29th.
Yeah, October 29th,
Mm-hmm.
Friday, and it's the Beltway Battle. I love that title, by the way. And it's gonna have your other boxer, Kobia Breedy, as the main event against
Yeah,
Sakura. So that's
yeah,
also like gonna be very entertaining as well.
definitely, definitely. Yeah, so
And then we have
like I said,
Jaleel,
we
of
have,
course.
yeah, yeah, and like I said, we got a plan in place for Jaleel, and you know, it's going to work out great. You know, Jaleel is going to be in a position to make a lot of money and to win a lot of belts. A lot of people, ask me, well, when he gonna fight again? He hadn't fought in a minute, and well, people got to remember too, we also in a pandemic. We're in a pandemic. We've had issues, a lot of fighters have been having issues with even finding opponents. Um, but I tell them to just stay focused, don't get frustrated, you know, because we gonna get to where we try to go, and we're gonna accomplish the things that we want to accomplish. Everybody gonna have naysayers, and people, oh, they don't know what they're doing. They made a mistake. They shouldn't have did this. All I tell people is sit back and watch. Sit back and watch.
So by the end of the year, DC, Jalil should be 3-0, right? 3 knockouts.
Maybe 4.
Uh-oh.
Keep that one under
You
sleeve.
still holding out information
We're
for
gonna keep
Jaleel.
that right now,
Uh-oh.
dude.
Jaleel, you holding out
Yeah,
information
we gonna keep
wickedly.
we we
Y'all
gonna
ain't
we
y'all
gonna
not.
keep some things under the
Maybe 4.
sleeves. Yeah, we
Uh-oh.
gonna keep some things under the sleeve.
Well, wow.
You know.
Mm.
I mean, I
Yeah.
thought it was big
Again,
news just when he got to fight at home
we
on the
gotta
29th.
we have a plan in place. Yeah, we got a plan in place for Jaleel, and yeah, and he will be ready
I mean,
I like that plan.
whenever he get a date to fight.
so
He will be ready. And when 2022 comes,
okay, I need to be on speed dial. I need to be on
yeah,
speed dial because I'm ready. Jaleel, do you have anything you want to say to the fans before you leave us, especially your your IG information, your Facebook information, and ask everybody to come out and see you in DC. That's in that area.
Yeah. Once again, I want to thank y'all for having me on the show. Y'all always show me love. I'm real thankful for the hospitality that y'all show every time. And to all the fans, I thank y'all for tuning in. Thank everybody who supports me. Man, I even thank the people who don't support me because you're still watching. Um, yeah, and I just want them to know, man. Come October 29th, I got a big show for y'all. Then God willing, everything goes well. We're right back in there in December. And like Derek said, we may or may not fight 4 times this year. Might end the year 3-0, might end the year 4-0. But you know, come 2022, we got a lot coming for y'all.
Okay. All right, Jaleel. Well, we appreciate
and
you just as
Shakira,
much as you appreciate us.
and also Shakira, I just wanted to. I know we had some technical difficulties when you were addressing the issue with, the topic of,
Fred.
going after young fighters. I did an
Yes.
interview with Sean with Fight Hype, and you know, I addressed the issue. And with me, I'm always going to take up for my fighter, no matter what, and I'm always going to take up for my family, Mayweather Promotions. So, You know, that incident to me shouldn't have never happened, but it happened. We dealt with it. I dealt with it, and you know, one thing about facts, you can't dispute
Okay.
facts.
I mean, I know
And
you
my
dealt with it. I
response to it,
realize that. My thing is,
go
DC,
ahead.
I mean, what I got to know is, was it a personal phone call that was put in, or did you just address it with Fight Hype?
Oh, I addressed it with fight hype. I addressed it with fight hype, but you know, I didn't have a problem with addressing it over the phone or in person or whatever. Um, Again,
Right.
you know, Jalil is a young fighter. He's learning as he goes, and you know, again, if anybody wants to interview him or speak with him about anything, it's not a problem. But what we not going to do is we're not going to come after none of my fighters or anybody with Mayweather Promotions. Um, you know, particularly
Exactly.
Floyd Atlanta.
Exactly.
Um, you know, if you stating facts, you stating facts. But when you're not stating facts, that's when the problem comes in. And when you think you know everything and you really don't. I mean, you know, I listen, I go on these podcasts because, you know, again, I listen to what different people got to say, what different people reporting. And honestly, half of the shit that they post and talk about or report is not even true. You know, I was looking at Devin Haney earlier. Devin did an interview with, I think he did it with Ellie Setback. And Devin said the same thing. Somebody told him that he was asking for $8 million to fight somebody. And Devin was like, that's not true. And he was like, you know, the stuff that y'all report, wherever y'all get y'all information from, it's just not true. And you know, everybody got somebody always that know everything, that tell me everything going on. Well, apparently they telling you the wrong shit. So they need to get a new informant or whoever they got.
We having technical difficulties.
Oh, wow. All right, guys. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We'll be back, and we just want to thank Jalil Hackett. Major announcements tonight. Major promotional banner moves, managerial moves, and major skills for Jalil Hackett. You can check him out at Jalil_Hackett on his IG page. We thank you both so much for coming on with us tonight, as well as DC
Man, no, thank
from
y'all.
DC.
Oh,
Thank you.
appreciate
We
you,
so sorry
Jalil.
for the technical difficulties tonight. I don't know what's the deal, but we'll
No,
have
it's
you guys
fine.
come back on maybe when Kobia comes back on later this month. And thanks so much for everything. And we'll be
Bernard,
watching
too.
and rooting for you. Tell
Bernard,
Bernard, don't sneak out on me again.
Will do.
I like Jalil.
I didn't get to ask him my question. All right, guys. And you can also follow us on Boxing Playhouse, and that is with YouTube, IG, Instagram, and Facebook. We'll be back a little later in about 15 minutes to start our ladies' night. And cross your fingers that our issues will be cleared up by then. We'll see you in a few. Peace.